guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin, and today we're back with you with The Sopranos, Season 2, Episode 12.
Dressed like a knight.
The knight in
the
white
knight in
satin armor.
Yeah, white satin armor.
Nice.
We'll see what that's about. Last episode, Tony had to step back from the business a little bit, and no distraction meant he was focused on all his issues, and he was starting to freak out again and pass out. We talked about how there might have been also like a part of him that is kind of addicted to his job, right? Because Jennifer said something about why she cannot let go of Tony, says that even though she is afraid of hearing about what's going on in his life, she also cannot stop herself from listening.
She's
right?
excited to learn more.
Yeah, so kind of like a drug, right? And we felt maybe that was the same thing happening with Tony. He wants out of the job deep down because it's stressing him out. But there's also a part of him that wants to stay in that job because otherwise he's lost a part of himself, right?
Yeah.
Richie and Junior were doing a little drug deal on the side, and it was bothering Tony because it was on his route with the garbage trucks, and he's still trying to lay low, and if they get noticed, that would be on his back, right? He'd have to take care of the situation. So he told them to stop, and Richie is getting really pissed about that. And it looks like he has no intention of stopping. They literally had a pissing contest last episode because he's buying a house and he kept comparing it to Tony's house and how this one is bigger and this is all original and stuff, and the grass just got put in.
The grass is new, everything is new, everything is so much better than what you have right now.
Yeah, so since we're literally about to, well, this episode and then the finale, I am a bit afraid that either, Richie and Junior will do something a bit crazier than just what they did last episode, and we're gonna have to take care of that.
Or maybe everything that's gonna with pussy might explode.
Or both.
Yeah.
Probably both. And the other thing that happened last episode is that Junior met with a woman he used to know. Someone that hung out with them back in the day. They have history, but at first he pushed her away because her age reflects his age, and he's trying to forget that he's getting old.
Yeah.
But no, it looks like she could be good to him, right? She's not judging. She understands his issues, and she's totally fine with it. So stop pushing people away, man. Stop trying to, flirt with the young women who call harassment on you after. But this is where we are. Let's jump in this episode and see what happens. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
Alright guys, let's go!
You know what hasn't been good for a long time? I'm one out here.
I'll die without you.
No, you won't. You forget about me in 2 weeks.
Probably.
I'll kill myself.
Oh boy.
Don't you fucking threaten me, Rena. This is over. I can't do this anymore.
I'm giving it 2 weeks.
You talk to that guy about the modeling like I told you. Take care of you till you get on your feet. But I'm not doing this anymore.
I have a secretary now.
Well,
I've moved on.
I don't believe him. Even if he might believe himself right now, I just don't believe him.
Fairfield Township's taking bids next week.
What's there to talk about? Fairfield's mine. Was yours. See, obviously, Richie, you're fucking deaf. Because I told you 10 times. Then I found out you're still dealing blow on those garbage routes.
For that, I'm losing a fucking bid.
Those are my father's garbage routes. My uncle's just asking for what my father would have given him if he was boss when Richie got out of prison.
That's not your fucking... Go to school!
He respected my father and he respect Richie.
Why is he even
Want
here?
respect? Give respect.
Yes.
He just told you to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And he told me to go fuck myself.
I'm glad you understand. He was saying he was supposed to go to medical school, and that's what his father would have wanted for him, and now he's just following Richie around as his
Henchman?
assistant in the business. Yeah.
Did my nephew say where I'm allowed to move the coke?
He don't give a shit about nobody but himself.
I'm facing 20 years. I could die in a fucking place.
They're gonna do something.
You don't fucking know that.
Because they see Tony as the one stopping them from getting what they think they are owed or what they want.
Tony could tell him where to move his coke though.
But they don't go to him.
What do you want me to do?
Go talk to Alley Boy. Feel him out. But he's a slippery fuck. Don't commit.
Watch your back, Tony.
Once again, watch your back.
They're trying to overthrow you.
He's got tremendous moxie for his size. Tell me about it.
He's a chihuahua.
And like his thing might blow up too. Everything's gonna blow up. It's a finale soon.
It all depends which one's gonna burst first.
It's probably gonna be linked.
An airline ticket from the Scatino bus stop I'll put it on file.
You could use it as probable cause for a warrant, couldn't you?
First, you'd have to tie the ticket to Tony. He probably moved him by now. However, this engagement party for the sister, I'm gonna want to wire you up. I know you're sensitive.
Eh, fuck that. What the fuck was I, his errand boy?
SATIN, yeah.
What the fuck is that?
So we're back to this,
Fate I
buddy.
went out the window that very day.
It's not true. He goes back and forth with how much he loves or hates Tony. When he feels underused or manipulated or whatever, he hates him and he's like, you don't respect me like you should anymore. Like, things have changed, and he gets pissed and he does shit like this. But then he defends him to his son.
I want to thank my future in-laws for making a great party. I want to thank you all for coming and celebrating with us this historical union.
20 years in the making, or something.
They say it's never too late, and they say all good comes to those who wait.
You should do what you preach.
They're right on both counts.
Well, he's waited. He's done his waiting. 10 years of it in jail.
I just wanted to share my happiness with everybody.
It's
here.
gonna crash him.
And I have been looking for my soulmate for all of my life. I found him right here, at home.
You found the money, you mean? Because if he got broke, I'm pretty sure she would leave him.
God bless. Salute.
Of course, that would make her very uncomfortable.
She thought that she might have found someone just like that too, huh? Or soulmate.
Yeah, that didn't happen. Oh my god. I swear, if she doesn't try to leave at least once during this whole show, I'm gonna be really sad for her character.
Scott, I'm home. She took 20 sleeping pills.
Oh, so she did what she said. Oh.
Jesus Christ, Reen.
I don't care no more what happened.
Don't say that shit. You got your whole life ahead of you.
The ambulance, emergency room. How's she gonna pay?
I'll take care of it.
What kind of life is there for me without you, Tony?
And she's the side piece. There wasn't supposed to be anything serious between them.
For how long I've been doing this?
I know.
Everything's gonna be all right. Okay?
I mean, she might be a side piece, but he's like a sugar daddy for her.
Well,
I mean, he's paying her for stuff.
the stuff like that, I don't think it can stay casual the way he wants it, because you get involved.
And I remember how I felt. Then there's the honeymoon and the hope chest.
And then there's disappointment.
And the cheating.
You're depressed, aren't you?
The dress is beautiful.
You hide it, but you are.
Because in a year, you're gonna have to accept a Gumar. Yeah, well, I'd like to see a Gumar that's gonna let him hold a gun to her head when they fuck. I thought you were a feminist. Usually he takes the clip out.
Usually?
It's fetishistic. That's all.
He's in power. Like, he holds her life in his hand. That turns him on. Ah, shit.
Carmela.
Why did you disappear?
She's on a hunt.
I wanted to thank you. Maybe someday I will be free. If you had come that day, I might have done something that I would be sorry for forever.
I'd be responsible for your death.
Thank you.
God damn.
Thank you.
Oh, he was not thinking about you, Carmela. He was thinking about his ass.
Well, yeah, but... And just her being here is stressing him out.
If people saw us...
As far as he knows, Tony's right there and like, overseeing this to make sure nothing's going on.
Jesus. You know who she's married to?
Tony fucking Soprano!
But yeah,
She's
sadly,
literally...
if we forget about Tony, I could see them being happy.
No, but really, she's comparing her marriage to jail.
Yeah.
So?
There is a hypocrisy
out.
with the fact that his own son doesn't stick around. Like, he wants him to, you know, do your dance stuff and study, but he keeps his brother's son around.
His nephew.
It's Tony that's the fucking problem. You take him out of the picture, and believe me, everybody's gonna come along.
I don't know, dude.
Let me think about this a while. We gotta screw our courage to the post.
Everyone is telling Richie no, and he hears, oh yeah, they'll do it. Like, if I get rid of him, everyone's gonna follow. He doesn't listen. You said no one listens to him? He doesn't listen.
Fucking loser. He couldn't sell it.
Richie?
Old man Profaci knew how to split his enemies. He couldn't fucking sell it. He's not respected.
No one cares.
No one can, no one listen.
I'm better off with Tony.
Like, Tony has his issues, and he's not a perfect candidate for Junior, but he's way better than Richie. At least he's an ally in this. You've grown, dude.
This is growth, dude.
It's Catherine. She's the influence.
I just heard about they're gonna jack a load of these Pokemon cards.
Good, where?
I don't know yet. I should ascertain, right?
You are a cooperating witness, Sal. You wear a wire, that's what you do. Ask around, see what you can find out. But I in no way want you going along on any hijack.
Oh, it's gonna fucking blow.
I got the number of a guy I want you to talk to.
Psychiatrist?
It's a shrink.
I am not going to no shrink.
Psychiatrist is very scary thing for Russian.
Oh, guys, stop it.
Kiss off them.
Trying to be nice, trying to help her, but he's not doing what she wants him to do.
Calling out old traumas and everything. Like, for sometimes, yes, for it's true, but I feel like they're looking for any excuse not to get better, and she's using that to keep him around, because without him, she loses a lot, right?
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I don't know her much, but...
It's very Bauhaus. And it's not bad. Like, the basics cost $20,000.
Janice, maybe you should slow down on the spending.
Because he doesn't have
She
access.
also wants her sugar daddy husband.
Richie, if something's happening to you, then it's happening to me.
So if you get rich, I get rich.
Impacts me a great deal financially.
Fuck, I knew it. See, he just can't handle that our house is gonna be nicer than his fucking house.
Has nothing to do with that.
It's just sad.
That you're not man enough to take care of it.
He didn't go with you because Tony wouldn't let him.
She's pushing again.
He doesn't want you around his kids.
Oh, bitch. She's a bitch. She's pushing him so he can, you know, go ahead and kill Tony off. This is what she wants. She wants to get rid of her brother so Richie can have all the you know, power and money, but no one would follow him.
Subject is still not left location.
Are you taking things into your own hand? Like, what is this? If they find this, you're dead.
It's a recorder.
But you cannot have that. If they see this, it's over. What the fuck?
Subject's departing Searchlight Diner.
He wants to be done with this.
He's rushing it. Oh, he's gonna get killed. I say that often in the show. They're all gonna get killed.
Come on, dude. They will see that you're following them. They know.
Oh, shit. Congrats.
Oh, shit.
Ow.
Soprano residence.
I want to talk to Tony.
Skaya plać. Ty nie perwaje. Ty znajesz.
Thank you, Polish maid. Oh, I see.
Hello?
Tony, I love you.
You got the wrong fucking number. Don't call here again.
You are the side piece. You're not supposed to matter. Right now, he's, you know, trying to be serious about everything else, so...
It's over between us. It has been for a very long time.
Bullshit.
I mean, since
Why does your clothes still
yesterday.
stink of perfume?
Oh, so that's what she was smelling at the beginning of the episode.
I saw her, but it's not what you think. I broke it off with her and she tried to kill herself because she said she didn't want to go on without me. The poor kid.
You are putting me in a position where I'm feeling sorry for a whore who fucks you? For a second, I believed you.
No, but that is true.
Show her the hospital bill.
It's true, but I think he's giving her way too many excuses.
Everybody is having enough right now.
Oh, yes.
Richie, Pussy, Carmela.
It's a finale soon.
Yeah.
Richie April is moving against you.
Yep.
Doesn't have the balls.
Yeah.
They're small, but they're there.
Warning from the guy who tried to do that last season.
He's gonna take you out, and Larry Baris, and anybody else who doesn't go along.
Why the fuck is Richie telling you all this?
Because he thinks he's in.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be surprising.
I seen this coming all along. That's why I made a big deal of that coke.
He tested him. He didn't pass. He was trying to see if he could have a better deal with someone else, and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
I'm grateful to you. I gave you 5% on the action that was left of you. Kick it up to 7.5.
Well,
It's better than nothing.
at least give him 10.
Well, he was in need of money, so that might be better than nothing.
My kid hit me up for $5,000 today to go to England for these dance contests.
Yeah, but little Ricky's still coming to the wedding, right?
Rick. It was little Ricky when he was 12 years old.
Jesus, all right.
Stress, dude.
Carries my name. Fucking discatiado. My nephew Jackie. I couldn't have a son like that.
There's nothing wrong with dancing.
But just because he's a ballroom dancer, you think your son is gay. And what if he was gay? What difference does it make?
Oh!
He knocked a tooth? No, okay.
I don't like either of them,
Nah,
but you
but
don't
this-
beat up a woman.
Tony wants him dead already. If he found out, like, even if he doesn't like Janice, you gotta cry now. Fuck off. Okay, we're killing you.
If you marry that asshole, this is what you're gonna have later on.
She might do it herself.
You think?
Oh, she's doing it herself.
Fuck out of here. I'm in no mood for your shit.
She did it herself.
Well, that took care of the problem.
Took care of the problem. You punched her, dude. Holy shit. But then what?
She
Now
should have
what?
waited for the marriage, though. She would have insurance money.
Tony waited after the marriage. He punched her. Like she was saying to Carmela that like there's no way she was gonna allow like a prostitute and stuff. She's a proud girl. She's liberated in her own way and stuff. No way was she gonna accept that.
All right, just stay right there. I'm gonna be right over. It's Janice.
Right.
It
I gotta
is.
go.
It is, and can't blame her.
She does not believe a word that he's saying right now.
Holy shit. Technically, it was gonna happen anyway, girl.
He's so happy right
Well, he was gonna do it, but
What the fuck, Sal?
They got away. I was following them to the boost, and then I was gonna call you.
What if they would have spotted you? What was your plan for that?
That was the beauty part.
I didn't even use my own car. I switched with my son.
You hit a fucking 7-Eleven clerk.
and you left the car there, and it's your son's car.
But I got you out of it.
Okay.
I owe you.
You are not an FBI employee, Sal. That's not gonna happen.
But I got a lot to offer. I know fucking well we live in a society of laws, and I
Sal,
got...
you are gonna help us build a case against Tony Soprano. And then you're gonna go do your time for selling heroin. And then you get out and start a new life. It's a good thing.
He's trying to find a future for himself.
I can show you statistics.
Doesn't give a fudge about statistics.
Get rid of him. Bring his car to the salvage crush.
Cadillac. Managila money.
I'll get some.
We need to destroy that. Come on.
Him and his love for the culture.
Hello.
She wanted to make sure. She's so near, like she's at the fucking limit. Nothing will pass anymore. Bye, Richie.
Oh, little Richies.
It's gonna be a while before I eat anything from Satrial.
You never know where the meat comes from.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Oh, we don't need you right now, dude. Stay up there.
So,
Did she hear anything, like, despite everything else?
doing here?
Subconsciously?
Richie didn't come home last night. She's worried about him.
Probably jilted her. That's the story of her life.
Fuck you.
What kind of a fucking chance did she have with you as her mother?
Hey, standing up for his sister, nice.
They are
She goes out on
siblings.
the date, she comes home, you call her a fucking tramp.
I never said anything of the kind.
Come on.
Now you tell me when I ever did anything to any of you.
Always.
You literally try to kill him.
You don't have a fucking clue.
I wasn't always perfect, but I always tried to do the best I could. Babies are like animals. They're no different than dogs.
Oh my god.
Somebody has to teach them right from wrong. If you ask me, I did a pretty damn good job.
I disagree.
I gave my life to my children on a silver platter. I suppose now you're not gonna kiss me.
What?
You're cruel. That's what you are.
Oh, fuck this.
Oh,
Despite everything.
Oh shit.
She saw it. She saw it. And she's laughing at him for. Oh, God. I hate Livia. And, like, despite everything that happened, when she says those things to him, he hears them. It still affects him.
I owe you.
Yeah, you do.
All in all, though, I'd say it was a pretty good visit.
You left an impression.
I go to a shrink. She says, Ma's a person who was incapable of experiencing joy.
Richie told me you were going to a shrink.
Maybe you ought to think about it. You know, going back into therapy.
What you do with him?
He's
You
sausages.
don't wanna do.
On a hill, overlooking a little river.
You did?
Come on, Janice, what the fuck? What do you care what we did with him?
He has a nice view.
So much.
You're gonna miss your bus.
Well then, we got rid of two problems. Richie and Janice.
She's probably gonna come back one day.
One day.
At least she's not
But
dead.
today is not that day.
Because, like, the one thing no one talked about here is that she was the one pushing Richie to kill Tony. But he got rid of, 2 stones, 1 throw.
He's so fucking happy right now.
Well,
You've been gone all night. Half the morning. What the hell happened over there?
Janice decided to go back to Seattle.
Because
well, he's not gonna say she killed
What about
Richie.
Richie? He must be devastated.
He's dead.
Richie won't care anymore. Gone.
Where?
Carmela, after 18 years of marriage, don't make me make you an accessory after the fact.
Oh.
I took care of it.
That was not a marriage made in heaven.
Neither is yours.
After Meadows' graduation, me and Rosalie April are going to Rome.
Experiencing Italy yourself, because he's not taking her.
What are people gonna say? You take off for 3 weeks.
You're gonna have to chauffeur AJ around to his dentist and whatnot.
And you're allowed to leave all the time. Why can't
Gotta find
she?
a tennis clinic for Meadow to join.
Try to be your father once in a while.
I have to do it, Tony.
So do
I
you.
just might commit suicide.
Oh, that was good.
Well, to be fair, dude, it did happen, right? He didn't lie about that, but she doesn't know. As far as she knows, it's all bullshit. But that's just gonna add to his problems and his, like, depression.
Carmela is so
I saved the world
freaking
today.
done.
Everybody's happy now but me. Well, yeah, good choice of song.
So yeah, we got rid of Richie.
Did not think it was gonna happen like this at all.
But I mean, I had Venice in my mind. Janice is such a
strong, opinionated woman. Yeah.
So I'm glad that she did not took the bidding, like she acted on it, you know?
The two of them were happy together as long as outside issues did not interfere. But as you know, once his idea of taking out like Tony didn't work, and he was just figuring out that he was gonna make as much money as he thought, and he didn't have as much freedom as he thought.
Yeah.
He got frustrated, and she's the one that triggered those emotions because she kept pushing. Like he was saying, like let's not change the balance or whatever. And yes, the stuff that Tony did to him, said to him, that frustrated him. But most of the time, the reason why he went out to do, the shit that frustrated Tony was because Janice was pushing for him to be more powerful, make more money.
My God, the word that she used to say during their intimated moment, like, oh, it should have been you, you're the boss, you're the big man, take your right place on the throne, something like that.
Because she was after the money. For sure, there's probably a part of her that cared about Richie, because they had a thing back in the day too, right? But the only reason why this happened, I think, is because she saw the potential, and he was the type of guy she could manipulate and push, and she wanted him to go get it. He could offer her the money. As soon as he said he didn't have access to as much money as they thought,
a problem started.
She got frustrated. And since she was always the one pushing that side of him, it triggered it at the end. Right? Once again, something didn't work out. Tony was frustrating him and stopping him in his way, and he's with Janice, and Janice pushes and makes it not worse per se, but she basically points at the problem, intensifies it, and kind of makes it worse. So he got mad and he pushed his frustration on Janice.
And Richie being a guy with such a old mentality, like back in the day, that's what a man's supposed to do. You should be following the family business like my nephew, and you have his son, which is nothing wrong with being a professional dancer and going out there with contests and stuff. But her insinuating that, what if your son is gay? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
She was
you
nagging
should
him.
be open-minded to your son being something in love with who he wants to be in love with.
According to him, she was nagging him. I think she was doing with him exactly the same thing as Tony. She was, in that moment, it felt to him that she was judging his way of seeing things. She was telling him like things that are changing, things that, and she's talking about his son, right? It's very personal. It's family. It's it's his responsibility, exactly. And like, he wants everything that others have. Even when it comes to his son, he felt ashamed of how his son was turning out when he's doing the job that Jackie, his son, if he had followed that path, I'm pretty sure Jackie would have been happy. But he wants the son that his brother has. He wants the job that someone else has. He wants the territories. He wants everything. He wants stuff that other people have, and he thinks that it's his due to have it. And he got frustrated whenever you would tell him that it's not yours to have, and things have changed. You have to do things differently. So in that moment, not only was Janice reminding him once again that, you should have this, right? Things could have been different. Tony's in your way. Basically, she was hyping up his hatred about Tony and playing it like she did all season, because that was her way of trying to push him towards action. But on top of that, she started doing the same, telling him that the way he thinks is not right, that he should allow his son to do whatever, and that he's wrong about this. Basically, she told them in her own way
that he was the problem.
Yeah, like that he was wrong and he should adapt, and that just he just lost it. Punching her was a fucking like Now, first of all, you never do that, but you don't do that to Janice either, because she
might just murder you. And she did.
She has a lot of issues, but in that moment, like, the guy you love does the thing that she was already saying, like, I'm not allowing the stuff that happens to others, right? She'd be saying like, oh, you allow like women to sleep with your husbands, and you allow them, like your husbands to hit you and do whatever they want with you. She was always so proud about saying that like she was different, right? That she learned, and as a woman she's grown and she understands things differently, and she's not allowing that in her marriage. She prides herself in having it all, and that, I think that brought back not only like trauma from childhood, but also like personal history, because I don't know what she's been through, but she probably went through some shit like that.
I think that she had a few, if not many, bad relationships.
And yeah, and it kind of destroyed that perfect life thing that she was creating. So it's kind of like back to square one, where things are just going to be messy, and she let anger take over, and she took care of the issue. And like the irony in it all is that Tony was going to do it, but he was going to do it because indirectly Janice was the one that pushed for Richie to go do that. And I was like, I didn't know. To be fair, Tony didn't have many solutions when it comes to Richie, because he was crossing a lot of lines and he was starting not to listen. And when the guy in your crew starts going to other guys in your crew to try to rile them up against you,
to get rid of you,
because like he tried to play the field a little bit. He was looking at people, seeing if they were interested, but he was also backing away a lot, right? He was saying like, we might be in trouble for a while, like we'll see what happens. But it's not like he was taking active steps to kill Tony, but he would eventually have done that.
He was talking loud. Yeah.
He was acting like he had a chance to throw him off, even though everyone else was telling him that, nope, we don't want that. Tony's a good boss. Like, he might have his faults, but he's better than you for sure. Junior playing him like that. I think Junior tested him, but if he had proved himself to be a good choice,
would have went with him.
Yeah, because like Junior knows that right now, like physically, he can't do the job. He doesn't have the backing. People don't respect him. Like, he's starting to realize this shit because of everything that happened. And if Richie had been a good candidate, maybe he would have backed him off. But saying that he couldn't sell it, he saw that, despite everything that he could bring, he's still a worse choice than Tony. Because, Tony has his issues considering that they don't appreciate it. He's going to talk to a shrink and all of that. Like, according to Junior, Tony is not a good choice, but he's sure stable, and people stable when it comes to his leadership, right?
Yeah.
And how people respect him and follow him. And he, like, for example, if Junior pissed off Richie, there's a good chance that Richie would have cut him off completely and not give a shit.
Or make him paraplegic.
Well, but he's impulsive like that.
He is impulsive. He's not thinking before acting.
Whereas Tony knows how to still treat, like you said, separate his enemies, treat his enemies. You may not agree with these people, you may not be friends with these people, but you understand how important it is in the business to keep things stable. And that's why, like, all season when Tony was telling Richie, you need to make good with the guy you ran over, right? Because otherwise the business crumbles. But Richie never really respected that.
Yeah.
And he's a loose cannon, so you don't really want that as a boss. So I am happy that Junior, figured that out, and then he went to Tony and he warned him. Because even though Richie was rejected, eventually with Janice pushing him and him having his temper, he would have lost it. Even though he said he respected the code and how they work and all of that.
The hierarchy.
I feel like eventually it would have been, But coming from Janice, I did not see that coming at all. Now she's gone. She might come back because she's the type of person that once she runs out of money, she
will be back in 10 years.
But she'll never know, like, there was no point in telling Janice, like, he was about to die anyway, because the girl is still saying she loves him, right? she thinks she regrets doing that because now she's lost her chance at a marriage that could bring her a lot. Not like, because yeah, okay, let's say she truly cared about him. She lost her love and she lost her money cow.
Yeah.
So it's back to square one for her. So yes, she's gonna be sad, but if we see her again, for sure, she's not gonna have changed much. I think she's gonna just be back for more. Mm-hmm. And that also means that if she's gone, we're gonna have to deal with Livia.
Once again.
Oh god.
I
felt so bad for Tony in that scene.
She doesn't remember, or she doesn't want to just talk about it.
In season 1, I was very like unsure. Like I was doubting her amnesia a lot. Like she was growing senile, but I was like, only when it suits
benefits
you.
her.
I'm like, when it benefits you, yeah. So I didn't know if I could trust that, but the more it goes, like the more I'm having a hard time deciding if it's an actual illness or if it's like her saying that to manipulate and make other people feel bad. It sounds like she's really going senile and she truly forgot. Because like Tony being like, you really don't remember. I feel like, okay, we're getting there. And so that means that now she plays the victim card without actually, remembering why everyone in her family hates her right now. But that scene though, I felt so fucking bad. Because despite saying that his mom is dead to him and he's moved on, he doesn't want to have anything to do with her, Tony hears her whenever she says shit like that to him. Because she's his mom. Despite everything, you cannot erase that. You can say she's dead to you, you can try to move on, but she will always be your mother. So when she insults him, when she puts him down, it's kind of like suddenly he goes back to being that kid.
But it's also the fact that she's saying, oh my god, it was hard, but I did a good raising you and your sister. But the fact that she's not remembering why they hate her, what they did to them, is like, do you still have a reason to be angry at her? She doesn't remember.
Yeah, because I mean, it's...
So what do you do with all your shit ton of trauma?
I think the way I see it, it's more like Tony is a parent too, right? He knows how hard it is to raise children and do it right. He's a part of the business and he's trying to keep his kids away from it, but he messes up, he gets angry in front of them, right? He drinks in front of them, so he's not a model parent either. So he'd be constantly, thinking back on his childhood and being like, they didn't have it easy. That's how he defended his parents to Jennifer in the beginning. Mm-hmm. Eventually, he got to accept that, yes, they had issues and they were not perfect parents, and it's okay to blame them sometimes, right? But still, his first, especially he's an Italian man, she's his mom. His first instinct is to defend her and love her, and when she says it wasn't easy, I did everything for you, I gave my life for you, I think he's tempted to believe her, because deep down he knows he's doing it for his kids and it's not easy for him either, right? And he hears her and I guess he believes her, but then she brings back more of the shit, and that's when he realizes, okay, you crossed lines. I know it's not easy, but you crossed too many lines, right? Like insulting Janice when all she's done this season. Yes, she was trying to get the money, but still, all she's done for her mom this season was, get her out of the home where she was stuck in because she was complaining. Look after her, she was taking care of her, even though she drugged her for sex, right? She drugged her so she could go have sex, but still. As soon as something happens, you insult her, and you were saying Richie was such a good guy, and you praised him and everything.
And I said, like all the others before him, he just left you just there, like a little
calling her a whore and whatever. Like
even though that she's clearly wounded,
she's incapable of feeling sadness for others, right? Like genuine empathy, and she's pushing her down and everything. And that's why I was saying, despite his issues with Janice, him, Tony and Janice and even Barbara, they share this past with this woman. If anything, they are on the same side when it comes to their mom. And he was on the receiving side of the insult so many times. He will not allow this because none of them deserve this. Yeah. As their mother, she should not be saying shit like this. And it hurts me to see him shrink down a little bit in front of her and kind of like listen to her. And then he says, "Oh, fuck that," and he tries to leave, and he stumbles and he loses his composure, and she laughs at him. She saw the gun though, so I am a bit worried that she could talk about this, she could mention stuff, because Richie will have disappeared. You've got the FBI after Tony, they're looking very hard for a way to pin him, and you've got Pussy really involved in this now too. If Livia starts saying shit, you cannot use anything Livia says because she's going senile, right? But still, you got to be careful about this stuff because you don't know who has seen you. You don't know who could, follow you around, what they could say, what could happen. But yeah, it broke my heart. Like, he's a proud man, but with Livia, man, he's a kid.
That's his mom.
I know.
Even after everything that she's done and said to him, that's still his mom.
I know. Pussy now.
Man, he was so reckless this time.
He put
a kid in a coma.
I know. He does what they said, about how it's like a Stockholm syndrome and stuff, and how he switches from loving Tony and hating him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like whenever he feels bad about, because he's doing this for himself, right? I thought him doing this was going to get him out of jail, but apparently he's doing a sentence after this. His future is not
a reduced one.
A reduced one, yeah. So his future is not bright right now, no matter what he does. But he's doing this so, like, he doesn't end up in jail for the rest of his life, because he needs to be there for his kids, right? He still needs a chance. So he's going after a friend, and I think whenever it gets too hard, like, he loves Tony, but whenever it gets too hard for him to je m'en dire stool in French. Snitch, yeah, thank you. Snitch on him and spy for the others on him. That's when he goes back to hating him, finding excuses. He treats me differently. He sees little signs that are not there because that's his way of justifying what he's doing. He's always been good to me. Shit, he treats me differently, right? He needs to jump to that, right? Because he defends him to his son, but then he turns around and he needs to vilify him in order to spy on him. But now he's getting so reckless. I guess the stress got to him, and now he's so tired of doing this that he'd rather finish this as quickly as possible. And not only that, but now that I know that, he's still going to jail and stuff, he's kind of trying to prove himself in order to find a better life in the future. Because he sees, like, he was talking about safe houses and moving around, going to good places. He kind of hinted at, joining the FBI. He is trying to find a good thing out of that shitty situation, but I think only death or jail will happen to this guy. And since the next episode is the finale and we already got rid of Richie, there's a good chance it's gonna be him next episode.
That we'll lose his pussy?
Probably, and it's gonna break Tony if it happens. But I don't see another way. Like, either Tony goes to jail, which I don't think it'll happen now at least, or Pussy dies. Because we cannot do another season of this. He's gonna break.
He's already breaking.
He is being so reckless. He's rushing into things because he wants to prove himself. He wants out of this situation, and he wants a good life for him, right? For his future. That's not happening. And I guess, like, the FBI guy is saying, like, oh, like, to be fair, like, they see each other all the time, and he hears him complain and talk about his feelings. He's heard him talk about Tony. He's a human being, right? Like, he feels empathy in a way.
You heard him having a breakdown also.
Yes, so in a way, you go to his house, you see where, what's going on in his life. You will connect, but you
will feel empathy for the guy at some point, I guess.
Yeah, but for him, it's his job. He cannot be involved emotionally in this. And for Pussy, there is an end to this, but it's not the end you want, right? Like, you will go to jail. The guy is doing his job. But I guess for Pussy, this guy is the only one who knows everything about him right now.
But he's not his friend.
He's not. But
that's a misconception.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
The corrupt cop.
Oh, yeah.
Who, the only person who truly knew, like, everything and he was talking to was Tony, but he was treating him like shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, the cop saw Tony as a friend, per se.
When he wasn't really.
When he wasn't really, and he killed himself.
Yeah, for him, he killed himself. I don't know about Pussy, because he's still, like, he has a son to look after, he's a daughter to look after, like, he might have too much to lose, but then sometimes it's not enough. We'll see. We'll see, but it really sounds like this, like the FBI guy being the only one who knows everything that's going on in Pussy's life right now. He's connecting with him, and he's like, "Oh, you helped me out with that deal with the kid that Tony killed and stuff."
I did not help you out.
He did not have evidence. That's kind of why. Like, it's not like he helped you out, man. Like, it's anyway. That's gonna be bad for him next episode. For sure, we got to deal with this. Ugh.
Who you want to talk about? Carmela or the side piece?
Well, both of them are part of the same story.
Tony's whore, like they call her.
Yeah. Rin. Anyway, Carmela is at the end of her rope, like we said before, and she's hanging on. Like, right now, she's not letting anything pass. Everything is making her cry. Every little clue that, his promises have been broken. That's just, she's given up, right? Like, she's looking into this, and she literally said, "One day I might be free." I'm like, she's seeing this as a sentence. And
she's in jail right now.
Yeah. And I think, like, her going to Rome, I think it's her telling Tony, "I'm going to be taking my life in my own hands, and I'm going to be happy from now on because I am tired of listening to you and waiting for you." Mm-hmm. When she got mad about him going to to Italy without her, he kept saying, "Oh, I'm going to take you one day." He never will. He never did.
Business trip. Someday.
Well, he didn't want it. For sure, he didn't want her with him because of that. But still, he gets to go enjoy stuff like that. He gets to see stuff. He gets to live.
And she needs to stay put at home.
Yes, she is tired. She had a chance at a guy, that she thought was a better example of a man, a good husband, like a guy who would care for her. And she lost that opportunity because, in her mind, like, because of Tony, right? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, okay, because of Tony. But still, like, to her, every chance she has, every chance she gets at happiness, it's lost because of Tony. So now I think she's going to try, at least it looks like she's trying to, take matters into her own hands and get that happiness for herself. Because if she's going to be stuck in that marriage and Tony's going to keep doing whatever he wants, she's going to do whatever she wants too. Mm-hmm. And I love the way she was saying, like, "Oh, I might kill myself." Kind of like saying, like, "See, I can play that game too. Right? I'm just one of your whores, right? Yeah. I can give you excuses too." Which I guess this is exactly how she would feel, right? She is one of his whores because...
The trust is just broken right now. She does not believe a word that he's saying. All of it, he needs to go. He's cheating on me again. He's going to see someone else.
He did tell the truth, because we know, like, Tony's dealing with a lot, for sure. But he's also the reason behind most of his problems, right? Like, him developing a friendship and a relationship with Rin, and you keep going to her, and you make it
2 years.
I mean, this is a lot. Like, she's a side piece, and you treat her like a side piece, but then you keep going back to her. So eventually, the two of you will talk. He will become her pillar. Everything is, like, uncertain in her life because, like, she's an immigrant. She doesn't have a job. He gives her the cash. He's a stability for her.
He is.
So whether it's because of emotions or money or whatever, if he leaves, she will be lacking in many fields. So of course she's gonna freak out. Of course she's gonna, like, saying she's gonna kill herself, that is emotional manipulation for sure. But she was desperate, and she did try to do it. So he became her pillar. And for him to be like, "Oh, that's over. I'm leaving you. I'm ending this," like that. That is him manipulating people in his life the same way he does Carmela. Right? He wants another girl, he'll go get her. He doesn't really care what Carmela thinks. He wants to end things with that girl, he will. He doesn't really care what that girl thinks, right? It's, for Tony, unfortunately, with these matters, it's always about Tony. He plays like, he suffers the consequences for sure, and he has a lot on his shoulders, but he is the one that does these things, and then when they go through turmoil because of him, yes, they'll shit on him. Yes, they'll blame him for this. Like, what do you expect, dude? You made her something important. You made it a big deal. And then you're leaving her like that. Yes, she'll freak out. You are his, she doesn't have a stable job or a stable life or stable anything. And
stable income and stuff.
Yeah.
You are the only stable thing that she has.
And Carmela, she wants you to be faithful, but you keep giving her lies after lies, and you say you'll be faithful, but then she she
Smell the
sniffs perfume. And you say, oh, I haven't seen her in forever, but she has proof that you did. It's lies after lies.
It wasn't for what you think. It's that she tried to kill herself. She was in the hospital.
For her, it's just another excuse. We know it was true, but Carmela doesn't.
Yeah.
So
I mean, in Carmela's way of thinking, it is true that it is shitty to try to make her feel sad
for the whore.
For the other woman that you're cheating with, you know?
Kind of like emotional manipulation so that she doesn't complain.
Yeah.
That's how she would see it. So I really love that she brought it back in the end. Because like, not only does it say that, you know, she can play that game too, it kind of compares her to the side piece, kind of saying like, I'm also a side piece, right? Why should you care? I can give you excuses too. Yeah. And there's also there's that too. If he can give excuses, she can give excuses. She can manipulate too, because he keeps doing that to her. So it looks like she's gonna start playing the game like he does, which is disastrous for their marriage. But for the character, I'm kind of happy for her. Go to Rome, girl.
That
Go
she's
live your
standing
life.
up for herself and taking her happiness in her own hand.
Where I judge is like, I understand about the kids, but she keeps telling other girls that, you know, stick around, like, keep your marriage alive because that's how it should be. But you're the first one to complain about Tony, and you look to other men, and you've had enough, obviously. So yes, the children, like the stability of the home is important, but this is not stable. Like, this is my one big, you know, piece of complaining I can do about Carmela. Divorce the guy, because you cannot take it anymore. And this is worse for the kids than it would be if you were divorced. But this is a lot to ask a girl who's been in a marriage for years with the same guy, and deep down who still loves some facets of this man, right? It's emotionally abusive, but this is how it is. I did say, like, if she didn't try to leave at least once in this show, I was gonna feel really bad for the character. It kind of feels like at least she's taking her freedom a little bit. So if that keeps happening, then good. And maybe that'll push Tony to make changes. Because it did look this episode like he had, you know, he was trying to make changes and he was trying to stop some things.
I'm gonna play Jennifer. Why do you think now he decided to put an end to the relationship with Rin?
Why do you think now?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I mean, it has been 2 years, right?
I think it's because he keeps doing it because he kind of needs it, right? It's his escape. Like I said last episode or the one before, Carmela is reality. She's, unfortunately, because she shouldn't be that, it's not her fault. But when Tony is with Carmela, it's just a reminder that he's got two lives and both don't go well. Both are troubled, right? Because things are not happy on either side, so maybe as a boss, like, he's just stressed, but it's still a very intense, like, side of his life. And with Carmela, like, there's responsibilities and there's guilt because he can't share everything with her. So with Carmela, there's the wave of reality, so he cannot completely let go with her, right? That's why he goes to other people. It's distraction. It's him finding some escape that he can't have with his wife. So he has no emotional control to stop that. It's impossible. He freaks out when he tries. But there is still a big part of Tony that is the family guy, the family man that goes out and helps his sister when she's in trouble, that talks to his kids when they need him, that, you know, tries to do good by Carmela sometimes, right?
But I mean, it just said it in that episode, like, after 18 years, now you want to be accomplice to after the fact, after the act. It is true that if he tells her what's going on, everything that is going on, she will be an accomplice. She could.
It felt
she
like
could be in trouble. Right?
It felt like
we said it before. Also,
it felt like he was saying, "I need you to understand." Right? He can't tell her, but he needs her to meet him halfway and understand what he can't tell her. In that scene, it was about Janice, but in life, this is how it is between them. Right? He needs her to do part of the work here because he cannot reach on the other side and share everything. But it's asking a lot of Carmela, who has no way of knowing everything, right? Like, and she shouldn't have to do that because Tony made that choice of going away on the other side, but still, they are both in a very shitty situation. And I really love the way it was framed, like that last scene of them on the couch. like close but so fucking far, and not on the same level at all when it comes to what's going on, and so separated. And then she leaves him alone there with his, and he looks like shit, by the way. Like he looks so tired.
He does.
But yeah, I think that maybe like after everything that happened and everything Carmela told them, maybe he's starting to be like, I need to clean my shit up, and yeah, try if you want, but Carmela has a right to say it's too late. It's not her fault if she doesn't believe him anymore after all the years of lies.
Too late to apologize.
Yeah.
Good song.
Yeah. We're gonna end this here. Next episode is the finale, and I'm very excited to see how this season will end. So thank you guys so much for watching this with us. If you want to see the finale right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
If you don't, the next one will be on YouTube next week. So wait for it, and we're gonna see you then.
Bye.